Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So if you can believe it, we're going into June already in 2021 and I'm kind of blown away. I can't believe we're going into summer. But today I wanted to share my June TBR with you guys, and because we are going into summer, which is not my favorite season, I wanted to share something that was really light and really fun and just lots and lots of summer vibes, so I can at least feel a little bit good about this season. So lots and lots of summertime horror on this TBR. And the other thing is, as you guys know, I've been really enjoying rereading YA horror and just vintage horror in general, so I have a lot of that on my TBR for this month as well. So like I said, lots and lots of short books on here that are really fun and they celebrate summer, but more importantly is the aspects of summer that I really like. The majority being, you know, gathering around a campfire out in the woods kind of situation. So jumping right in here, first up we have Campfire by Shawn Sarles. And if you guys can see, I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera, but on the cover the eyes are kind of spot varnished a little bit, I think, and they kind of glow. So when I first picked this up, I talked about it in a recent haul, I didn't notice it right away, but then I looked down at the book when it was at a certain angle and I was like, whoa, that is really cool. So this one, like I said, has to do with the best part of summer, which I think is going out and camping and gathering around a campfire to tell scary stories. And in this book we follow Maddie Davenport, and she and her family are doing just that. They're out on a camping trip, and on the first night they gather around the campfire to tell spooky stories. And their guide decides to tell them the urban legend about a mountain man who lives in the very woods where they're camping, and he kills people and marks them with antlers. He carves antlers in their foreheads as his mark. And the very next morning the story comes true, and now Maddie and her friends and family are lost in the woods and they're being hunted by a mad killer. So this one, like I said, my favorite part of summer is campfires and telling ghost stories and being outside and playing Spotlight and all of that kind of stuff. The things that you really loved as a kid. So I really hope this one is good. And I've seen this book on a couple of other people's channels as well. They've also hauled it. And so hoping this lives up to what my expectation is. And next up on the list is Fat Camp by James Sabata, and this book is about something exactly what it says. So it's about a fat camp that's run in the summer for kids who are overweight and struggling with self-esteem. And our main character, Philip McCracken, arrives at Fat Camp weighing in at approximately 400 pounds, but he is also dealing with some mental scars and anguish, and those psychological problems are affecting him more so than his weight ever did. So while he's there, the camp is terrorized by a crazed psychotic killer, and Philip has to overcome everything that's holding him back and to try to save his friends and everyone at the camp. And it says here, Fat Camp delivers horror, humor, and a little slice of nostalgia for anyone who ever grew up even being slightly afraid of the dark. So that sounds fantastic. I've heard of this book on a few other people's channels, and it's, you know, it's just really that nostalgic slasher sort of story, and it is filled with humor. I've heard that it's quite funny as well as being horrific, and of course we all know that I live for the 80s and 90s nostalgia, so really excited to get into this one. I have it on ebook. And next up we have Kill River by Robique, and I have been waiting all year to read this book during the summer. So this is the first in a series of 3 books, and I've heard nothing but fantastic things about this book. So here we follow Cindy, who is a 13-year-old girl, and her friends are at a summer camp, and in the middle of the night they decide to sneak away from the camp by stealing a raft and floating down one of the local rivers. And after spending a night lost in the woods, they come across what seems to be an empty amusement park. And first the kids are really excited because they have all of the rides to themselves, but then someone goes missing and they realize that they are trapped in this amusement park and they're also being hunted by a killer. And it says here, Kill River is a wild water park ride filled with blood, gore, and 80s nostalgia. Slasher fans rejoice. Old school horror is back. So again, I'm really into these summertime slashers. I really think this is going to be the TBR that's going to get me through this awful, awful season. It's really starting to heat up here in Canada. It's going to be quite hot this week by Canadian standards, of course, and I'm really excited to jump into this TBR and just have a lot of fun with it. So next up, I have a couple of point horror books. So first up, we have Beach House by R L Stine, and it says on the back, "The sun is hot, the water's cold, and the kids are cool, too cool to live, because a killer is stalking them, one by one. A killer who never leaves a clue, who disappears as completely as a footprint in the sand." So right along the same lines as the other ones, I think this is going to be a really fun slasher as well. And the other point horror book I have is The Surfer by Linda Cargill, and we have the most fantastic lettering on here. It is raised lettering. So this is one that I got in an Abominable grab bag a little while ago when they were doing them. So this is a UK cover, which I'm really excited to have for the collection. And on the back here it says, "Jessie has never seen the daring beauty on the surfboard before, the one who gets a thrill out of surfing in stormy seas. And now it seems Jessie will never know her. The girl disappears beneath the treacherous waves, never to surface again. So who's the new girl in town? The one who casts a spell over everyone she meets. She can't remember her name or where she came from. Jessie thinks she knows. Has the beautiful surfer come back from the dead? Or is it something worse? Much worse." So that sounds fantastically cheesy, of course. I've been really enjoying rereading the YA 90s horror, and this one fits right in there. So next up, I have a couple of Fear Street that I wanted to read. So the first one is Sunburn, and here we follow Claudia, and she's really excited because she just wants to soak up the rays and have fun on the beach after her friend Marla invites her to her cliffside beach house. And while the girls are there, people start dying of mysterious accidents, and Claudia believes that these are no accidents at all, that somebody is responsible for them, and they are all in danger. And this one seems to be short even for a Fear Street, so I think this one is going to be a really great whodunit type mystery. And next up we have a Fear Street super chiller. This one is The Dead Lifeguard, and on the back here it says, "One by one the lifeguards start to die horrible deaths. Someone or something evil is stalking them. They all know how to save other people's lives, but who will save theirs?" And fun fact, I used to be a lifeguard. I was a lifeguard for about 10 years. So really excited to read this one because I think it's going to be wonderfully cheesy and just nostalgic for that whole time in my life. And then we have this gem. It's called I Saw You That Night by R L Stine. And I just love the cover on this book with the neon pink and this cool dude that just has all of those 80s and 90s vibes. And it says here on the back, "Sand, surf, and sun. Roxy lives for summer. But this summer, things aren't going the way Roxy planned. It all started when she broke into Lee Bloom's house just to win a stupid bet. Because while she was in Lee's house, Roxy saw something she shouldn't have seen, heard something she shouldn't have heard, and now someone is looking for Roxy. Someone who wants her dead." So this book just has all of those summer vibes, and of course everything on the cover is embossed, which I absolutely love. And this book is in great condition. I got this one off a local seller here in my town, and they didn't even have it posted. I actually put something up that I was looking for books like this, and they contacted me and said, "Hey, I have a couple of these, would you be interested?" And I saw the cover of this book and I was just blown away. I just had to have it for the collection. So of course I think this one's going to be great fun. And these last 5 books that I have on the list, I'm super excited about because, first of all, I'm going to be rereading some of the Goosebumps series. I haven't read Goosebumps since I've been about, what, 10 years old? So really excited to get into these. I know they're going to be super cheesy and a lot of fun. So I picked a couple that had sort of those summer vibes. So first up we have Welcome to Camp Nightmare. And it says, "It's the little camp of horrors." And next up is Ghost Beach. "No swimming, no surfing, and no haunting." And then last but not least, and I've always loved this cover, it is The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam, because this guy just looks so super creepy. And it says on the front, "Tennis, Ping Pong Monsters, anyone? So I think these are going to be super, super fun to reread. I mean, you can sit down and read one of these Goosebumps in an afternoon. And of course, I loved these back in the day, so it'll be really interesting to see what my thoughts are now reading them as a 30-something-year-old. I mean, a 20-something-year-old. And then the last two up on the list are actually not horror books. I wanted to reread some of the Babysitters Club. These super specials, when they came out, I loved when these ones came out, and I always got them to read at my parents' cabin in the summertime. We used to go up pretty much every weekend and spend the weekend up there, and I always brought one or two of these with me. So first up we have super special number 2, Babysitters Summer Vacation, and it says, what could be more fun than going to summer camp for 2 weeks with your best friends? Nothing. And of course, this is just going to be all of the cheesy feels with girls growing up and going to summer camp together. So the girls go to Camp Mohawk, where they are counselors in training, and a lot of the kids that they're sitting for are kids in the camp. So it says here, the babysitters soon discover that camp isn't just nature walks and making lanyards. Dawn gets lost in the wilderness overnight. Christy learns how to use mascara, and Marianne gets caught sneaking over to the boys' side of the camp. Stacy spends 2 weeks with Poison Ivy, and Claudia falls in love with a boy counselor in training. So of course, this is going to be really reminiscent of growing up as a teenage girl. I'm just so excited to reread these. I think they're going to be really, really great. And I did watch the Netflix series of The Babysitters Club, and I really enjoyed the episode that was based on this book. So I think I'm really going to enjoy this reread. And then the other one is super special number 8, Babysitters at Shadow Lake. And of course, I picked this one just from the front cover alone, with all of the girls sitting around a campfire. So Christy's stepdad owns a cabin on Shadow Lake, and all of the girls are invited to spend some time. And it says, what a way to start off summer. At the lake, there's water skiing, cute guys, plenty of kids to babysit for, and even a mystery. The babysitters don't know where to begin. They just hope the fun never ends. And it has on the back, America's Favorite Girls. So, like I said, just the cover alone has all the feels of what I wanted. Roasting marshmallows over a fire. So again, I think this one is going to be really, really fun. Not in the horror genre at all, but super, super nostalgic. So there you have it. That is my June TBR. So lots of really short fiction that's really fun, lots of slashers and campfires and girls getting into silly things. So I'm really, really excited to read all of these books, and I'm hoping that it's going to get me through these hot summer months. If you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a question or a comment down below, because you know that I love talking to you guys. But until next time, stay spooky, everybody. Bye.